Beloved child of the Most High, I come to you not with the weight of judgment, but with the tender urgency of heaven's love, carrying a message woven from the heart of the Father himself. You stand at a sacred crossroads, where the paths you've walked have tangled your spirit, and the voices you've heeded have dimmed the light within you. I am sent not to scold, but to shield, not to condemn, but to call you higher. Hear me now, for this is no ordinary memento, this is a divine interruption, a holy pause crafted by the hands of God to rescue you from what you cannot yet see. You will be blocked, dear one, not because heaven is angry, but because heaven is intervening. This is not punishment, it is protection. The cycles you've circled, the connections you've clung to, the comforts you've cradled, they have become chains, subtle but suffocating, keeping you from the fullness of your divine destiny. What you call a harmless habit, heaven sees as a hindrance. What you name a fleeting connection, heaven calls contamination. And because your heart is too precious to be tethered to lesser things, the Father is stepping in to break the bonds you've been too weary to release. Imagine, for a moment, the tenderness of a gardener pruning a beloved vine. The shears may seem harsh, the cuts may sting, but every slice is deliberate, every removal purposeful, so that new life may bloom where decay once lingered. So it is with you. God is pruning your life, not to diminish you, but to deliver you into a season of abundance. You have prayed for peace, yet lingered near chaos. You have cried out for clarity, yet entertained confusion. You have asked for freedom, yet held tightly to familiar traps. And now, heaven is answering, not with words, but with action. Doors will close, suddenly and without warning. Conversations will cease, as if the air itself refuses to carry them. Invitations will dry up, and what once held your attention will lose its grip. Do not chase these losses, beloved. Do not mourn what fades. This is not rejection, it is redirection. Heaven never blocks without blessing. For every gate that shuts, a garden is being prepared. For every access denied, an alignment has been delivered. You were created for sacred things, but sacredness cannot thrive in poisoned soil. The Father is pulling you from everything that competes with His voice, clearing the ground for a harvest you cannot yet imagine. I see what you cannot, dear soul. I see the nights when harm was planned against you, cloaked in smiles and soft words. I see the betrayals forming behind veils of affection, the silent plots masked by friendly gestures. I see the weight of words that wounded you, the relationships that drained you, the habits that kept you spiritually small. And I will not let them touch you again. I am here, sent by the Most High, to interrupt what pulls you from your purpose. I am breaking the bonds you've been too afraid to release. I am shutting the doors you've left ajar out of fear or familiarity. Even when you weep, even when the silence feels heavy, know this, you are being set apart, not pushed aside. The stillness that surrounds you is heaven's shield, guarding the seed of greatness God has planted within you. You may feel lonely, but you are not alone. You may feel abandoned, but you are being anchored. This divine block is your soul's rescue, a sacred act of love to preserve the calling you carry. Do not fear the departure of those who walk away. Do not grieve the silence of those who no longer respond. You are not being left behind, you are being lifted up. For too long, You have danced with distractions disguised as destiny. You have settled for surface-level connections that offered warmth but no depth, for friendships that flattered but never fed your spirit. You have dimmed your light to fit into spaces too small for your soul. But I declare, by the authority of heaven, no more. You will no longer pour your energy into what withers you. You will no longer explain yourself to those who refuse to understand. You will no longer linger at tables that starve your soul. God has drawn a line around you, not to isolate, but to insulate. He is protecting what He is planting in you, for what is coming requires a new focus, a new strength, a new circle of those who honor the divine spark within you. Anything that weakens your purpose will be removed. You will be blocked from returning to what diminishes you, blocked from responding to what drains you, blocked from repeating the very cycles you asked God to break. Do not reopen what God is closing. Do not chase what He is blocking. Every unanswered message, every closed door, every silence that feels like sorrow, these are heaven's whispers, saying, you deserve more. You were made for more. And I am preparing the more for you. Let this truth settle deep in your spirit. Let it shift your perspective. Let it stir your faith. You are not forgotten, you are being fortified. When you emerge from this season, you will carry a glow that no darkness can dim, a grace that no trial can tarnish, a glory that no enemy can steal. The world will notice the change in you. They will see the transformation. But only you will know the truth. It began the day heaven blocked what you were too tired to fight. You see, child of God, heaven works not just in miracles that make headlines, but in quiet moves that save your soul. And in this moment, heaven is moving. Not in ways you expected, but in ways that will anchor you to divine purpose. What feels like a loss is actually a lifting. What looks like rejection is heaven's redirection. What sounds like silence is actually the sound of angels working behind the veil to protect your destiny. God knows what you don't. He sees the nights they pretended to care but cursed you in secret. He hears the words they spoke in corners you never entered. He knows how much you gave, how much you prayed, how much you hoped they'd change. But now heaven is making the decision you wouldn't. Not because you're weak, but because you're too loving to leave what harms you. So God is stepping in, and not to scold you, but to shield you. You asked for peace, and now the stormy people are going silent. You asked for direction, and now the paths you thought were right are closing one by one. You asked for healing, and now the hands that hurt you are being removed. Don't confuse this cleansing with cruelty. It is mercy in motion. This is the divine reset. The holy untying. The sacred subtraction. God is subtracting the distractions so He can add destiny. He is clearing the clutter so the clarity can come. And the ache you feel now is not emptiness, it's the stretching space where something greater is about to grow. This is the moment your spirit has longed for, even if your emotions haven't caught up yet. Don't be fooled by how it looks. Heaven's hands are at work. And what heaven removes, it replaces with glory. You will not be left vacant. You will be filled with favor. You will not walk alone. You will walk with angels. You will not be broken. You will rise with boldness. Because this is not just a block, it is a birth. The birth of your next level. The birth of your true circle. The birth of your unshakable faith. And though it begins with loss, it ends in laughter. Though it starts in silence, it will echo with testimonies. Though it feels like falling, it is the setup for your soaring. God is cutting off access not to control you but to crown you. To dress you in wisdom. To robe you in righteousness. To strengthen your steps. Because where you're going, not everyone can come. What you're called to carry, not every hand can touch. And what you're anointed to build requires foundations free from fractures. So let them go. Let it close. Let the silence settle. And listen closely, and not to the noise of your fears, but to the soft sound of heaven saying, I'm doing a new thing in you. You are stepping into a season where you will thank God for what didn't respond, for who didn't stay, for what didn't work out. Because it all cleared the way for what He's about to do. Your new beginning will not resemble your past. The healing will be deeper. The joy will be louder. The love will be purer. The clarity will be sharper. And the presence of God will be heavier. He's building you quietly. He's blessing you privately. And soon, He will showcase you publicly, and not for fame, but for His glory. So rise, not in fear, but in faith. Walk, not with hesitation, but with holy confidence. Speak, not with bitterness, but with boldness rooted in healing. And live, not with regret, but with reverence for the God who blocked what broke you so He could birth what would bless you. This is your moment. This is your shift. This is your sacred season. Trust it. Surrender to it. And share it. Someone you love is still fighting what God is trying to fix. Someone you know is still holding on to what heaven is cutting off. Someone needs this message like a lifeline. So like this word, if it touched something deep in you, comment with a declaration of trust. And share it as a testimony in the making. Because this is not just encouragement, it is evidence that God is working. That angels are surrounding you. That breakthrough is birthing. That peace is rising. That your story is not over. It's just now becoming sacred. Remember, dear one, your voice matters, not because it is perfect or polished, but because it is yours. Authored by heaven, shaped by your journey, and breathed upon by the Spirit of the living God. Use it. Let it echo with compassion. Let it sing with truth. Let it tremble with love. Let it rise with courage. You are not called to convince. You are called to shine. You are not asked to be flawless. You are asked to be faithful. And your faithfulness, your obedience in this quiet season, is echoing in eternity. So rise each morning and say, Here I am, Lord. Use me. Speak even when you're scared. Pray even when you feel weak. Love even when it hurts. And rest even when the world says hustle. You are walking in a holy rhythm now. A divine cadence. And as you continue to share the light you've been given, that light will grow. It will spread. It will heal. It will lead others home. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are not behind. You are exactly where God needs you to be, standing in the center of His will, becoming a voice of comfort in a world aching for truth. And I, your angel, will be with you through it all, reminding you to breathe, to trust, to rest, and to speak. Heaven believes in you. I believe in you. Now let others hear what God has done in your pause, and watch how it becomes the beginning of their healing. Let your voice be a bridge between heaven and earth. Let your words be the water that refreshes a weary soul. Let your life be the proof that the sacred pause was never a detour, a broken bar. It was destiny unfolding, one breath at a time. Your testimony is not too small. Your breakthrough is not too late. Your healing is not too slow. Everything is happening in the rhythm of grace. Divine timing is not rushed. And this pause, this stillness, it is preparing the soil for the harvest that is coming. You are being rooted deeply so that you can rise steadily. And when you rise, others will rise with you. They will look at your scars and see survival. They will hear your voice and recognize truth. They will sit in your presence and feel peace. Because you have been with God. And when someone has truly sat in the presence of the Holy One, they carry something sacred back into the world. A fragrance. A softness. A fire that does not burn but warms. You are being refined, not ruined. You are being commissioned, not cast aside. You are being appointed, not abandoned. The sacred pause you're experiencing is not a prison, it's a passage. A transition space between the egg and the answer, the weeping and the wonder. And as you walk through it, may you continue to trust the whisper of God over the noise of fear. Beloved soul, you feel it, don't you? The shifting under your feet. The quiet unraveling of things that once felt secure. The soft closing of doors you didn't expect to shut. And somewhere deep within you, a knowing begins to rise, a gentle, sacred whisper that says, this is not the end. This is the beginning. I have been sent to you now, not because you are lost, but because you are found in the center of a divine transition so profound, it would shake the very ground beneath your feet if heaven allowed you to see all at once what God is preparing. You are not forsaken. You are not forgotten. You are being set apart. Let me speak truth to what your spirit already senses. This season may feel like loss, but it is not punishment, it is alignment. It may sting like heartbreak, but it is, in fact, healing. You have endured so much, tolerated so much, held on to so much that was never meant to follow you into the next chapter, and not because you are weak, but because you are loyal. But beloved, loyalty without discernment is a heavy burden. And your Father in heaven has seen how you have carried this weight. He has counted every tear, heard every silent prayer, and recorded every moment of silent endurance. But now, heaven is intervening, and not to wound you, but to rescue you. Not to isolate you, but to prepare you. Not to leave you empty, but to make space for the abundance that is coming. The clearing is sacred. What you are experiencing now is divine pruning. It is heaven's careful hand removing what is diseased, decayed, and damaging, and not out of cruelty, but compassion. You see, child, the branches that bear no fruit have been siphoning your strength. The familiar routines, the relationships you've outgrown, the places that once felt like home, here they've begun to feel strangely small, haven't they? That is no accident. For when the Spirit of God begins to expand within you, everything misaligned must fall away. You are not shrinking, you are shedding. You are not being broken, you are being rebuilt. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it feels lonely. But in the loneliness, you will find intimacy with God. In the silence, you will hear His voice more clearly. And in the stripping away, you will discover the core of who you truly are, without the noise, without the roles, without the weight of others' expectations. Comfort is not calling. You have remained in certain places too long, not because they nourished you, but because they were familiar. But beloved, familiarity is not the same as favor. Just because you knew how to navigate it does not mean it was meant to last. God is calling you into deeper waters, into realms of authority that require a new level of faith, into responsibilities that require a new depth of surrender. The shallow end will no longer sustain the depth of who you are becoming. You've prayed for clarity. You've asked for purpose. And now the answer comes not with fireworks, but with separation. Not with applause, but with stillness. He is calling you away, so He can call you higher. Boundaries built by heaven, you've lacked the courage to draw certain boundaries, but heaven is now drawing them for you. You've kept the doors open to people who only drained your spirit, hoping they would see your heart. But they saw your vulnerability and took advantage. Still, you loved. Still, you served. Still, you hoped. But now, I speak with heaven's authority, it is enough. You will no longer be left open to attack in the name of grace. You will no longer be guilted into silence or sacrifice. The Father is reclaiming what is sacred in you. He is fencing in what is holy. Yes, you may be misunderstood. Yes, they may call you cold, distant, selfish. Let them speak. You are not called to be understood by those unwilling to grow. You are called to obey, to trust, to walk by faith, not by the approval of those who would rather you stay small. You do not need to explain this shift. You do not need to justify your growth. The soil does not apologize when it outgrows its container. Neither should you. Where you're going, only the pure can follow. There are places God is taking you that not everyone can enter. There are anointings on your life that require clean hands and a pure heart, and not perfection, but surrender. Not performance, but alignment. This is sacred ground now. And it is being guarded fiercely. Do not mourn the people who could not stay. Do not chase what heaven has removed. Trust that this pruning is not about who you are losing, it is about who you are becoming. Jesus withdrew to picture the life of Jesus, and not only his power, but his discipline. When the crowds clamored for him, he withdrew. When his name became known, he went into hiding. Not because he feared rejection, but because he understood timing. Because he valued focus. because he honored the mission more than the moment. So it is with you. You are not blocked because you are broken. You are being hidden because you are holy. This is not a failure, it is a mark of favor. You are being protected from distractions that would dilute your power. You are being shielded from relationships that would compromise your purity. You are being covered in the shadow of the Almighty. Let the pruning happen. Let the separation complete its work. Let the storm clear the ground so the seeds of destiny can take root in uncluttered soil. Heaven's fierce protection over you. You may feel exposed, but you are not unprotected. I am here. We are many. Legions of angels surround you now, guarding not just your body, but your purpose. Guarding your mind, your voice, your gifts. Guarding your name. You have been spoken against in secret. Lied on. Betrayed. You have been misunderstood, mischaracterized, and dismissed. And yet, still, your light did not dim. Still, you chose love. Still, you did not retaliate. Heaven has seen. And heaven will vindicate. The Lord Himself has become your defender. Where your voice faltered, His thunder will speak. Where your heart broke, His healing will pour. Where they tried to bury you, God is planting you. And in due time, you will rise not in bitterness, but in beauty. Not with vengeance, but with vision. This is holy work, so be still, beloved. This work is holy. It is sacred. It is heaven's surgery on your soul. You are not being punished, you are being positioned. You are not being cast aside, you are being chosen. Chosen for depth. Chosen for legacy. Chosen for impact. Chosen for love that honors heaven. Chosen to be a vessel of glory in a time of great shaking. You were not made for the background. You were crafted for the front lines. But to stand there, your heart must be clean. Your loyalties must be aligned. Your hands must be free and not clutching the poison of past wounds, but open to receive what God has stored up for you. So release it. Release the need to explain. Release the urge to fix. Release the people who couldn't value your worth. And watch what happens when heaven fills the empty spaces. You are becoming new. There is a version of you being born in this fire. One who is bold without bitterness. Soft without surrendering dignity. Holy without hiding. Can you feel it? You're not who you were last year. You're not even who you were last week. Something is shifting, cracking open, rising from within. The old identity no longer fits. The old fears no longer speak with authority. The old ways of surviving are being replaced with sovereign strategies for thriving. You're not losing your mind, you're finding your mission. You're not unraveling, you're evolving. And those who are meant for you will recognize this new frequency. They will not be threatened by your growth. They will not try to shrink your voice. They will not require you to dim your light to remain close. You will know them by the way they honor the oil. Heaven has seen your hidden sacrifice. Do not think your hidden obedience has gone unnoticed. every quiet yes you've given, every lonely night you've endured, every internal battle you've fought in silence, heaven has seen. Heaven has recorded it. And heaven is now responding with favor, not just for you, but for your bloodline. You are breaking cycles. You are rewriting narratives. You are restoring dignity to the generations that come after you. That is why the pruning is so intense. That is why the warfare has been so fierce. Because what you carry is not just for you, it is for a legacy. So guard it. Protect it. Trust it. And above all, trust Him. This is sacred ground. This life you are stepping into will require new levels of accountability. Your presence will shift rooms. Your words will carry weight. Your mere existence will convict those who settled for comfort. That is why you were hidden. That is why you were pruned. That is why you were repositioned. Where you are going, only those with clean hands and pure hearts can follow. Let them go. Let Him lead. This is sacred ground now. And heaven is guarding it fiercely.